2020 is now gone, and with this video I want to share a retrospective on my journey as a content creator. And in doing this, I hope to give you some valuable insights about what it's like to make tutorials and courses for a living. So this is a retrospective, but it's also a full income report. And while this video will focus on the highlights, you can find a full report with a complete breakdown of all my numbers on my website, where I talk about all the platforms I've been using in 2020. And before I get to all the details, I want to answer a question. And that is, why did I become a content creator? Well, everyone is different, but my own personal reason for this is that I wanted to have full creative control over my work, be my own boss, and work on my own schedule. And because I'm very passionate about coding and helping people learn to code, then making programming tutorials and courses seemed like the right way to go. And while it can be quite fun to have a blog or a YouTube channel, trying to do this for a living, well, that is a real challenge, and for me it was clear early on that I had to make paid courses to support my work. And as of today, I have 3 courses on Udemy about learning Dart, Flutter and Firebase, so let me show you how they have done. So this is my revenue report for 2020, and as you can see, my lifetime earnings on Udemy are now at almost $54,000. And this figure includes all the money that I made since I started selling courses in March 2019. But what is more interesting is my monthly average revenue. This has been increasing this year because I launched a new course in April and another one in September. And we can see that my best months were May, September and November, where I managed to exceed $4,000 in sales. So during April and May, a lot of people were affected by national lockdowns due to COVID and I turned to online learning. So I was lucky because I already had 2 live courses at that time and saw a big increase in my sales during this period. Then things slowed down in the summer. And then after 4 months of work, I launched my Dart course in September. This course was very well received and I managed to get a good volume of sales. On the other hand, November is when Udemy spends a lot of marketing dollars on Black Friday promotions, and as a result, I did get a lot of traffic and sales from Udemy itself. So overall, my online sales are growing, and you can see how things have been ramping up, especially compared to my first few months in 2019. But these sales are quite seasonal and go up and down quite a lot during the year. In fact, things were quite slow back in July and August, and I had a pretty big drop in December as well. So even though I spent quite a lot of time creating courses this year, it is definitely not easy to make a living on Udemy alone. Not only that, but not all my course sales are growing consistently. For example, I can show you the income for my Flutter and Firebase course, which was on sale since 2019. And as you can see, this is on a decreasing trend, meaning that people are not buying it as much as they used to, even though I have updated the course in November. And this is a problem because I should probably do a complete refresh of this course and cover all the latest things about Flutter and Firebase. But this course has over 20 hours of content and it will take me more than 6 months to redo it all over. So I'm really not sure if this effort is going to be worthwhile in terms of sales. On the other hand, here I have my Flutter REST API course, which only took 2 months to make, and I've been selling it here on Udemy as well as on Teachable. But as we can see, sales are lower for this course, and it's currently making about $500 a month, which is okay for the amount of work that went into making it. And if I show you the sales for my Dart course, we can see that it did really well when I launched it in September, but sales are now decreasing. So it will still take me a while to break even on this course, considering how much time I put into making it. And again, if you want to dig into all my numbers, then you can read the full income report on my website. But the bottom line is that Udemy is a very crowded platform. And because it has a huge number of courses, it is really difficult to stand out. And just to give you a sense for that, here is the Udemy Insights page for Flutter. And as you can see, the revenue of the top courses is about $20,000 a month. But the median monthly revenue is only $48. And that means that the vast majority of instructors make hardly any money at all on their courses. And in my experience, you can only do well if you reach a top 10 ranking for your course category. And you can only get there if you have enough reviews. And when you are starting out, it's going to be super hard to get thousands of reviews. So if you're planning to make a course at this point in time, Udemy may not be the right platform for you. And you can look into other course platforms. For example, this year I tried launching one of my courses on Teachable. So here is the Teachable dashboard for my school, and as we can see, while I had some success with my first launch, then sales dropped quite a lot after that. And again, if you want to learn more about my experience with different course platforms, you can find all the details on my write-up. Next, I want to talk about YouTube. And at the beginning of 2020, I had just over 10,000 subscribers, and now I've reached 23,000. But if I show you the analytics for my channel, you can see that I had some good spikes back in February and March, but overall my watch time has been going down in the second part of the year, and that's because my main focus was on making my new Dart course. So my takeaway here is that I found it quite difficult to post new content consistently across multiple platforms. And because my income is still not as strong as I was hoping for, I had to prioritize Udemy because I get 90% of my income from it. On the other hand, on YouTube, I managed to make just over $100 a month. So that works out at about $2 per 1,000 views, and at least for me, online courses are the lifeline of my business. With that said, I have some cool plans for my YouTube channel in 2021, and I want to up my game and bring you some new cool tutorials. And I also have cool plans for my website, which I launched in January 2020. Since then, I added a lot of new features like a dark mode as well as search functionality. And recently I launched a new newsletter, which is a free email course designed to help people learn Flutter with the best resources at their own pace. And I'm quite happy that this is performing well and I'm getting a lot more signups than I used to. So overall, I'm happy that things are looking up across all my main platforms and I have a lot of exciting plans for the new year. But if there is something that I want to make clear is that none of this was an overnight success. I've been creating Flutter tutorials and courses for almost 3 years now, and this year alone I spent 1,200 hours on this business for an average of 23 hours per week. So when I take my total revenue this year and divide it by the time I spent growing my business, I'm making about $37 per hour, and that is before adding expenses. Now, of course, this is very reasonable money for many people across the world, and I'm thankful that I've been able to reach this. But for my level of experience as a software developer, this is not so much, and I'm hoping that all my efforts will lead to a better return on investment next year. And overall, while being a content creator is very rewarding, there are also some drawbacks. First of all, stuff changes all the time. As languages and frameworks evolve at a rapid pace, then courses and tutorials age quickly. APIs change often, new packages are added all the time, and it takes a lot of work to keep content up to date. That is to say that creating online courses is not about passive income, but instead it's a continuous effort over multiple years. Also, every time I make a new course, it takes me literally months of work. And this is not as fun as coding new stuff and learning things. And part of my job is also to try to help people and answer their questions. But this is also a time-intensive process, and I'm sorry if I'm not always able to answer to everyone, but I need to be quite mindful about how I spend my time. Some students are nice and ask good, thoughtful questions, while others just post screenshots of errors and expect me to solve all their problems. So, of course, I need to strike the right balance. But overall, I'm very happy that I've chosen to become a content creator. This year alone, thousands of students have watched 37,000 hours of tutorials from my YouTube channel. And on Udemy, people have watched nearly 3 million minutes of lessons from my courses. Some of my students have gone on to create their own Flutter apps or even got jobs as Flutter developers. So for me, it's very rewarding to help others grow and live a better life. And I hope I can do this for even more people in the future. So what are my goals for 2021? Well, my business is not quite where I want it to be just yet. So in 2021, I'm planning to do a bit of client work to help pay the bills. And then I'll focus on creating new high-value content across all my platforms. Ultimately, I hope to reach $6,000 in monthly revenue, but I'm not sure when I'll be able to get there. So I'll try my best to reach my goals, but I also want to enjoy the journey without stressing out about it. So I'm going to wrap things up here. But once again, you can check out my full report on my website. And if you're a content creator or want to become one, I hope this video was helpful. If you're one of my students, I want to say a big thank you for being part of my journey. And none of what I have achieved so far would be possible without your support. and I hope that you'll enjoy all the new content that I'll be creating this year. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.